Hey there, welcome back to another video. This time around, it is another vlog. I have a smaller stack this time around of physical media to show you. I also have some thoughts I want to share on some trailers and some upcoming physical media releases. And I have a letter that I want to go through that was sent to me by Jonathan in the last package that he sent me. And before I go any further, I want to just give a little bit of an update to those of you who might still be waiting for some paid requests. I'm going to be knocking out as many of them as I possibly can within the next few days. Uh, I know Police Academy is still on the list. I have some other ones I need to kind of finish or at least do part of before I start tackling that franchise. I got all your requests. They're all on my watch list, and I just wanted to let everybody know who's still waiting for a request that it's in the works. Now, I'm just going to start showing the latest additions to the collection. So, have this box set of Transformers. This is the complete original series. This is a DVD set from Shout Factory. Got this for in-store credit from a local record shop. Didn't cost me anything. Decided to give it a shot for that. Not the best looking transfer, to be honest. It's pretty dated. I think it was the best that they could do at the time because they were working with an SD master from a videotape. But it's watchable. It looks okay. Now I'm gonna show some Blu-rays. So this is the Blu-ray of Unlawful Entry from Shout Factory. And I think it's the same transfer from the overseas release from like Germany. It's kind of soft looking. It's not as good as some of the other remasters that I've seen. It's definitely better than the DVD, but it definitely doesn't look as pristine as you might expect a more modern Blu-ray to look. But I'm glad to have it. I don't know what Shout Factory was thinking or Shout Studios was thinking when it comes to releasing this only as a limited release. This should have been a wide release under their Shout Select line. I don't know why they didn't do that. They clearly misunderestimated the fan base for this film because it sold out in less than a week, and then they recently announced that they're going to have more copies available. So I'm like, you should have just had it be a wide release to begin with. Why waste money on Lost in Space as a collector's edition? Make that a limited release because it's not going to sell that many copies. And then make this as a Shout Select release or a wide Scream Factory release. I mean, it says Scream Factory on the back, so make it a Scream Factory Collector's Edition. You have other thrillers that are under that uh, um, label, so just do that. Just I don't get it. I don't understand what they're doing over there. But in order to get that, I also ordered a few other things to get free shipping. Ghost House and Witchery. This was on my Amazon wish list for a while, so I decided to pick it up. And I decided to upgrade my DVD of Body Bags, which is a fun horror anthology with John Carpenter and a bunch of other horror directors and icons. Finally got this from MBD. I don't know what the hell was going on with this. Was this delivered to me by somebody driving a garbage truck across country? Because this took a million years to get here. I ordered this with three other films during their Black Friday sale, and this did not ship out and did not arrive for I would say probably at least a couple months. I don't know what happened. What's funny is I sent them a message on their website about this, being like, "Hey, it's been a long time. Where's my Men at Work Blu-ray? I do not want to shoot you in the ass with a pellet gun. Please, where the hell is this Blu-ray? Is it shipping? What's going on? What's the delay?" And it just randomly showed up yesterday. But okay, cool. Cool. This I actually got for half off at Goodwill recently. This is a fun movie. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I remember enjoying it. I only had it on DVD. So I decided to grab that. This one I've been curious about for a while, and I thought it would look really good on my OLED, and it definitely does. It looks really sharp and very colorful. It has some really good visuals. So I didn't watch the entire thing, but I just flipped through it, and it looked great up converted to HD. Here we have Immortal Beloved. This is going to be one of the upcoming reviews for Dark Metal Spider. And then I also picked up The Sixth Day on Blu-ray. Only had the DVD. And then these are all ones that I got from Grub. They had a pretty good sale recently. And I decided to pick up Batteries Not Included. 1941. Bulletproof, which I think is actually pretty underrated. Unforgiven, because I only had the DVD. Sea of Love, which is a really solid thriller with Pacino. And Sneakers, another one that I enjoy that I only had on DVD. So those were really cheap. Got a really good deal on those. And then the rest of the titles here are all 4Ks. So the two on top here I got at a local grocery store of all things. The Hellboy remake, reboot, and Onward. And here's some Arrow. Well, actually, before I get to Arrow, I'll show this. This is a Umbrella Entertainment release of Razorback. This is the 4K. Got this from Diabolique. They even included the replacement disc, because apparently they screwed up with aspect ratio on the original release. But yeah, Razorback, 4K. Only had the DVD, so I wanted to get the 4K. And the regular edition of the 4K was actually out of stock on Umbrella's website, so that's another reason why I decided to get it. Here we have some Arrow releases. Got Blood and Black Lace. To upgrade my Blu-ray. This film looks amazing. Looks really spectacular in 4K. Gorgeous looking film. Phenomenal transfer. Especially for a film that old. I believe that film is from the late 60s, and it looks like it's brand new. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. This is the Arrow Video Collector's Edition 4K. I actually haven't seen this film yet. And I've heard about it. I've seen clips from the movie, but I actually haven't seen it all the way through. Really looking forward to checking this out one of these days. I did pop it in my 4K player just to see what it looked like. It looked really good. I gotta be honest though, I don't really like this slipcover. It's just very generic and boring looking. Like, even though you have this weird artwork, like, it just doesn't really look that great. I think, I don't know, maybe it's artwork from Hunter S. Thompson. Maybe that's what they're trying to go with. No, it's an illustration from featuring Ralph Steadman's classic. Okay, so it's actually an illustration from somebody who was inspired by Hunter S. Thompson. I still think it looks really bland. I'm sorry. I would have preferred something different, but that's just me. This, on the other hand, is anything but bland. Well, I mean, actually, the case itself is kind of photoshoppy. This is the Conan Chronicles. This is the 4K box set of Conan the Barbarian and Conan the Destroyer from Arrow Video. This is one of my most anticipated releases of this year. I put them both in my player recently. They do not disappoint. This is the best that any of them have ever looked. And you get the theatrical version of Conan the Barbarian, which has not been in HD for years. Also Conan the Destroyer. And they don't include the Blu-rays, though. It's just really all you get. Well, I mean, there's an extras Blu-ray for the first film. But if you want the Blu-ray set, you have to buy it separately, which is kind of lame, but it is what it is. It also includes this book which is really cool because it actually does have some legitimate. It's not just essays about the themes of the movies. It actually has two different chapters, so to speak, in the book that are from Paul M. Salmon, who was on the set of both movies. So you actually have some on the set recollections from a guy who was on the set of Conan the Barbarian and Conan the Destroyer. So it's a pretty cool companion piece to the set. And of course, you have the postcards and the poster and all that, all those other goodies and everything. But yeah, Conan Chronicles. I got this from Diabolique, and I actually got it early. Amazon, I would have had to wait until later this month. I'm not waiting that long because really, really wanted to get that set, so I just ordered it from Diabolique. Cost me more, but I got it earlier, and I also threw in Razorback into the same purchase, and yeah, definitely made it worth my while. And the rest of the 4Ks here are a couple steel books from eBay. So we have The Mask of Zorro. The reason why I got these steel books is because these steel books have a different transfer than the previous release. So this actually has Dolby Vision, which is not present on the other Mask of Zorro release that came out previously. Same thing goes for this Men in Black release. Dolby Vision, of course, as well as Dolby Atmos and things like that. And then the Starship Troopers release, which I already showed in my review of the film. But yeah, that's it for the physical media. When it comes to like this quick little update. Now, when it comes to trailers and stuff, there's not a ton of newer stuff that I really want to talk about, except for like a handful of things, because I did a vlog fairly recently, but since the last time I did a vlog, did see the trailer for Monkey Man. Basically, it's Indian John Wick, and it's very blatant about it. It's just, sorry about flubbing my words there. I was still pretty flabbergasted about how blatant of a ripoff it is of John Wick, to the point where the guy barely says anything. You have the same kind of direction, same similar fighting style. There's even a moment in the trailer where they ask him a question, and it's almost along the lines of like, "Are you in or are you back?" And then he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, really? Like, even the way the guy dresses is almost just straight up John Wick. The only difference is that he wears a monkey mask every now and then. But it does look like it's well shot. Looks like it could have some fun action scenes. And if you are going to ape something in the action genre nowadays, it might as well be John Wick. But it's still one of those things where you're like, really? I can see right through what you're trying to do here. But I'll still give the film a shot, but it definitely does look like it's just a movie that is just trying to ride the John Wick train. Also saw a trailer for a movie called Cell Phone, and that honestly might get my vote for the most generic horror film ever. Cell Phone, really? And the trailer shows the scares, and they're exactly what you think they are. Cheap jump scares involving a cell phone. The title alone is so generic that it honestly sounds like it's a parody, but it's not. It's actually a legitimate title for a legitimate horror film that's coming out later this year. Also saw a trailer for Ricky Sneaky, a honestly awful looking comedy featuring John Cena and Zac Efron and I think his name is Andrew Santino, the co-host of the Bad Friends podcast with Bobby Lee. The guy needs to stick to podcasting because he's a shitty actor. It just doesn't look funny at all to me. The whole plot is about how there's this three group of friends. They use this fake friend of theirs as a way to get out of things. Oh, our friend Ricky is sick and we have to go see him in the hospital or all this other stuff. Eventually, someone calls them out on their bullshit. They decide to hire some guy. I think it's insinuated that he's homeless or some shit. And they give him money in order for him to essentially be Ricky Stenicki. And of course, what happens is he takes everything way too seriously, starts to actually think that he really is Ricky, and things go off the rails. And it's your typical predictable comedy with a million tired tropes. And John Cena just trying to be funny and failing miserably. Uh, Next trailer, Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire, the newest trailer. I know there are people who are divided on this trailer. I know a good friend of mine thought that it looked like crap. That's cool. I honestly liked the trailer. I didn't mind the teaser trailer for Frozen Empire previously, and this trailer just made me want to see the movie more. It's not just because I'm at times a hopeless diehard Ghostbusters fan, but I just thought it looked like fun. That's really the main thing. Is there potentially too much fan service? Yeah. I mean, you got Dickless back as possibly the mayor. You have Slimer. You have the library ghost. You have a lot of these other callbacks. But I'm okay with that if it works within the context of the movie. And the new cast, it seems like they're starting, it looks like from the trailer at least, they're getting a little more comfortable in their own roles. And it definitely looks like a film that has a massively different tone than Afterlife. Afterlife took itself way too seriously for a majority of the runtime. So when it was trying to be sillier and kind of goofy and over the top like the original Ghostbusters or Ghostbusters 2, it came across like it was forced and out of place. Here, when you have those moments, it feels like it fits because it seems like the tone is far more consistent, and also it just seems like they're having more fun with it. It really does seem like instead of it being this dour project, which is essentially just trying to nostalgia mine the memory of Harold Ramis and the first movie, this at least seems like it's trying to do something different. Even though it does have homages to the first two films here and there, like Easter eggs. And yeah, I know Peck talking about how the Ghostbusters are frauds is kind of silly and dumb, but that's the point. He's an oblivious, stubborn asshole. He's always been that way. Um, it would make less sense to me that he would just change his ways after all these years. He's dickless. He will always be dickless. Um, But it is kind of lazy bringing him back in and doing the whole, oh, the Ghostbusters are frauds thing. But I like the fact that they got a different villain. I like the addition of ice and freezing things over. I think that's kind of unique for a Ghostbusters film. And the scenes that featured the original crew were great. Like it legitimately reminded me of the fun vibe that I got from the first two, especially the bits with Venkman. Bill really seems like he's got his energy level back here. The scene where Janine Annie Potts, she's in uniform and Bill reacts is just so much fun. Melnitz in uniform. And then the whole bit near the end of the trailer where Bill has this just really witty, fun line. Tall, dark, and horny at 12 o'clock. like that was like, all right, I think I'm in. I think I'm in for this one. Don't fuck it up, please. Knowing the track record of Sony and Ghostbusters, they probably will. But I'm gonna give them one more chance. But I swear, if they blow it this time around, I mean it. I'm done. I know I said that when I did the review of Afterlife. This is just reminding me of a real Ghostbusters episode, which is something I want to see from this franchise. I want to see different stories, different villains. So it is trying to go in that direction. So I want to give it a chance for that. But if it blows it this time around, I'm none. And in terms of any other trailers, saw a trailer for this movie called The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. It's another Guy Ritchie film, supposedly based on a true story. It looked like it could be okay, but not anything really that special or that great. But maybe worth a watch for like $1 matinee or something. Uh, Tarot, just another incredibly generic horror film and horror title. What is up with this year already with these just unbelievably generic horror films with just painfully bland concepts? A haunted swimming pool, a haunted cell phone, now haunted tarot cards. Really? And the only other thing I want to mention, looking at this list of trailers, I don't really think they're. I can't really think of anything, to be honest. There was this movie, this trailer that came out before. I don't remember the name of it though. So it was a trailer that aired before Argyle that I saw recently. But I don't remember the name of it, and it just looked annoying. It dealt with like two women who were thieves, or they stole this briefcase full of, I guess, maybe a lot of money or some kind of goods or something, and then it's like this just coming of age thing, and then it just looked really awful. So bad that I already erased the name of the movie out of my mind. Um but yeah, that's it for my thoughts on any upcoming trailers. In terms of upcoming releases on physical media, I'm looking through Dawn of the Discs. Kino Lorber's announced Johnny Handsome in 4K. I could care less. That film is boring and forgettable. Good idea, just not executed very well at all. The Departed is getting a 4K. I'm okay with the Blu-ray of that one. I think I saw it once years ago. I picked it up on Blu-ray recently because I would like to give it another shot. And it looks really good on my 4K TV. I've converted with my 4K player, so I don't really think I honestly need the 4K. Lost in Space, the collector's edition. Yeah, I don't know what the hell Shout Factory is doing. No one is asking for the Lost in Space movie to get a collector's edition Blu-ray. There isn't a single person that I know of anyway. At least not enough people to spend that much money to create a slipcover, create the case, burn it to a disc, do all this other stuff. I don't even think it's even going to have anything new in terms of features. It's probably just going to have the same stuff. And if there is anything new, like what else are they going to really discuss? Is going to be anything different than what they already discussed on the previous Blu-ray, which you can get for like $4.99. Rolling Thunder is also getting a 4K. Another one of those, okay, fine, but the Blu-ray is good. Blu-ray is pretty decent, pretty solid. Basket Case just got announced for 4K from Arrow Video. I like the film, but the Blu-ray already looks really good, and it's kind of a rough-looking movie, so I don't really know if 4K would be the best format for it. Honestly, I'd rather see Frankenhooker get a 4K release, because that film is in more dire need of a new transfer. Pre-orders for True Lies, Aliens, and the Abyss are live, if you want to take a risk on those. AI versions of those movies. The King Kong remake from the 70s is getting a 4K. I like it, but I'm fine with the Blu-ray from Chow Factory. Disney did announce a 4K of Tron Legacy. Now that I'm looking forward to, because the Blu-ray, as of right now, is still a benchmark Blu-ray to test a 4K TV. It really is, because of the deep blacks and the lighting and everything. And if they do that transfer right, that could really be tremendous. In terms of other Shout Factory, Shout Studio releases, The Faculty is getting a 4K. That's cool. That's like the one recent release from Shout Factory where I'm like, that makes sense. Shout Select release of Affliction with Nick Nolte and James Coburn. I don't even know of a single person off the top of my head in my friends group who's even heard of that movie, let alone seen it. But Unlawful Entry, that's definitely a popular title. Let's make Affliction a wide release, but let's not release Unlawful Entry as a wide release. Doesn't make any sense. Sounds like Shout Factory, Shout Studios is afflicted with something else. A case of the stupids. Dream Scenario, Nick Cage, that's getting a release on Blu-ray. I think maybe it's also getting a 4K. Umbrella Entertainment announced some new Blu-rays of Masters Universe and Tank Girl, but they're the same transfers as the previous ones. Same features as well. Well, I mean, technically not. The Masters Universe Blu-ray does have a new little feature talking about the unmade sequel, but that's really about it. It lists over 2 hours of features, but they're just listing the audio commentary as a feature. I hate it when they do that, where they're like, oh, 2 hours of bonus content, and then you actually watch the featurettes and the behind-the-scenes footage, and it doesn't even come close to that, because they're just counting the commentary as a bonus feature, when I think it should just be counted as separate, because it's something that's tied into the movie. But yeah, that's it for upcoming releases that I wanted to mention, want to talk about. Now I got this letter, and just gonna go through it here. So Jonathan, he saw Boy and Heron and Godzilla -2. Really liked them. He also saw Thanksgiving. Those are 3 films that I definitely wouldn't mind checking out sometime, especially Godzilla -2 and Thanksgiving. I'd like to give those a watch one of these days. Mentions the Felsher review of Beverly Hills Cop 2. Yeah, that was dumb. Talking about how it was misogynistic to have a female villain and all that other stuff. It's talking about Victoria's Secret getting rid of some activist CEO. Okay, cool. Talks about the True Lies 4K and how it looks terrible. Yes. Mentions that Cameron could have used another writer for Titanic. I agree. That I mentioned that in my review. Talks about the Hitcher 4K. Yeah, I can't wait for that to come out from Second Sight later this year. He asked me what I thought of all 3 cuts of Dawn of the Dead all 3 cuts of Dawn of the Dead in 4K from Second Sight. They look good. They look really good. Especially the theatrical cut. I would say that's the best the film has ever looked in terms of the theatrical version. Mentions Ernest a little bit. Talks about the Goofy movie. Asks if Ernest Goes to Africa makes my number 1 worst of 97 list. Is it worse than Steel and Mortal Kombat Annihilation? I don't know. Those are really bad, but it's up there. It definitely is. Do I think it's as bad as Scary Movie 3 or Ballbusters in terms of comedies that make my eyes bleed? Yes, yep, I do. But it doesn't upset me as much as Ballbusters. So I would still say Ballbusters is worse. Said I should redo my worst movies of each year in Letterboxd. Okay, I'll think about that. Mentions Beekeeper. I thought it looked like something different in the mainstream action genre. Said he was looking forward to it. Yeah, it was fun. It's a fun movie. Do I think Night Swim and Imaginary look generic for Blumhouse? Yeah. Talks about like try hard movies in the horror genre. I don't think they're really trying hard enough. I would like to call them try less or not trying horror movies like Cell Phone and Tarot or Truth or Dare, because I sat down and watched that piece of crap recently. Feel free to let me know in the comments if you want to see a review of Truth or Dare. Like, if you want to see me rant at that movie, leave a comment down below. If one person says they want to see that rant, I will do that video in the future. Talks about Megan and Five Nights at Freddy's. Talks about this other Alien movie that's coming out. The Omen prequel. Mentions the Omen franchise. Talks about how we might buy Omen reviews. I'm definitely considering doing the Omen again, leading up to the first Omen, because I will probably see that. Because I'm telling you, folks, I'm seeing tons of movies this year in the theater because I have the unlimited subscription and I only have one job. So YouTube is technically my second job right now. So I am really going to go all out with that. In fact, the next review of a film that came out this year is Argyle. Is Argyle, which that'll be up fairly soon, within the next day or so. Talks about Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Talks about these other horror franchises and how they should rest in peace. I agree. They should. Just leave them alone. Talks about Thanksgiving and how it was a surprise hit. Talks about Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah, the anniversary is coming up for the original film. I definitely do need to do those Texas Chainsaw Massacre reviews. Talks about Skinamarink. Talks about, is it like one of the worst of the year for me? I mean, for last year, yeah, it's pretty bad. And I do agree that it's as much of a film as August Underground. Talks about a more Mario sequel, that could be fun. Sonic 3. Talks about Existence. Talks about the Blob remake, which I do need to do a review of. Indiana Jones 5, which was a disgrace. It definitely was. Mentions Richard Mall. Talks about his contributions to Night Court and Batman animated series. Yeah, may he rest in peace, because he passed away last year. Talks about a fantastic fantasy films letterbox list that I did. I should add some more to it. Talks about a bunch of other requests he might request for me to do. Talks about A24 getting the Halloween rights. So A24 has the rights to Halloween and Friday the 13th now. Great. The franchise, the franchise and Halloween in particular is at a very low point, but it could definitely get lower. It could definitely get lower. See, I screwed up there because I'm kind of speechless. I'm like, really, A24, the company with the worst track record when it comes to, in my opinion, good horror films, especially films like Halloween or Friday the 13th, they're the worst company to do those kind of movies. What is their track record for making fun popcorn slashers? Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? Bueller? They don't have one. So yeah, Halloween could get worse, because A24 could now turn it into a pretentious, poorly written series. Great. Then he talks about some Comic-Con that he was going to attend, where he's going to meet John Glover, Christopher Lloyd, a few others, and he wishes me Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Happy New Year. And I wish the same to you, Jonathan. Hope you've had a good New Year so far, and to all of you who are watching the video. But yeah, that's it. That's it for this vlog. Until next time, I'll see you later.